welcome to the big program. District play is right around the corner. It's already started down south, but we have been accused of having a northern bias, so we don't know anything about that. It's right around the corner here in the city, having just wrapped the Metro tournament, and my guest this week is one of my favorite players, and in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in the city. So I wanted to have him on here so you can put some respect behind that name, and that's Atrisco Heritage Academy's Colby Wade, the big fella. Colby, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start there. Like you have developed nicely during your time at Atrisco, but I feel like your name doesn't get mentioned enough. Is that something you even think about, or you just take care of business?
Yeah, I feel like it's always been like that. I just feel like Atrisco as a whole has always been underrated.
Right.
Well,
I don't know, but you guys play that card so well that we're the underdogs. Look at us on this side of the city. But you guys have the banners on the wall to prove it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to let you slide with that.
All right.
Right? Like, you guys play that card, right? That underrated card. But, I think people know you guys are really good.
Yeah, but it's if you talk to people around the city before the seasons, they'll be like, Y'all don't have anyone anymore. You lost Josiah, you lost Brooks, you lost 25 points a game.
So that's a motivating thing, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
So you guys hear that at the beginning of the season, but it's funny because it happens every year, right? Like Josiah, we think about that now. That's been, 2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
So, so you guys definitely feed on that, right? So do you guys talk about that as a group? Does Coach bring it up? Tell me
that's
that.
definitely our motivation during practices, during anything. If we're slacking during practice or something, Coach will bring it up, and he'll be like, remember what blah, blah, blah said, what blah, blah posted.
Now, since you brought it up, has he ever said, remember what Sebastian said?
No.
Has he dropped my name?
No.
All right.
No.
Good call on that then. All right. Okay. All right. So, but, how has that fueled you as an individual?
Me, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it makes me mad.
Right.
But it's just like, I gotta show it.
Right.
Like, I'm not just gonna say I'm blah, 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 and then they're like, oh, okay.
Right.
I gotta show it.
And talk about even on it's interesting because even on your team, like, I feel like, even when they're talking about Atrisco, they'll start rattling off some guards' names, right?
Yeah.
And I think Atrisco's always been so guard-oriented,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that your name gets left out there, that's got to be motivating as well. Like, hey, here I am, the big guy, the guy that's dunking all over you.
Yeah.
That's me, right?
So
how does that motivate you?
I definitely did that last year. I noticed that a lot, and I was like, I'm going to put my name.
Right.
So, I got player of the game 3 games in a row.
Right.
And that
now, is that because some of your guards are naturally divas? Like, guards are divas, aren't they? Like, in football, it's receivers. In basketball, it's guards, isn't it?
They're definitely the more out there, popular.
Right.
But you just got to show it.
But let's go back to, so you guys have those kind of talks at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Coach Ortega has always done an amazing job using that chip on your guys' shoulder.
Yeah.
Right? Whether how much of it I want to believe or not, that's not what we're talking about here. But I think he's always using that as an amazing motivating tool. So talk about that. Like, how does he drive that in to start a season?
It's the same thing. It's like he'll bring up us being the underdogs because realistically, no one wants to mention us until we're, like right now, we're 10-1.
Right.
We do have 1 loss, but everyone's talking about La Cueva. They have the same amount of losses as us.
Right.
So we do need to be brought up in the picture. So that's the main thing. It's like no one notices you guys. That's what he's saying to fuel us. Like, of course people notice us, but that's what he's going to put in our head, that we need to get ourselves
and he's been amazing at that, and he's done it for years.
Yeah.
And so, like, who on that team really runs with that? Like, who does that piss off the most? Like, who's like, yeah, coach, you're right, and just, who really just stirs it even more?
It's definitely Javi.
Is it?
Yeah. Javi's definitely the one that's like, you tell him something, he's going to go in the back, put in work for 12 hours.
Right.
Like,
Like, player comp-wise, Javi, is that the new modern DeMarcus Sutphin? Is he kind of taking that role a little bit?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it seems like you guys have always had pieces that complement each other so well. Mm-hmm. Is that just something that we see, or is it like you legitimately have that kind of chemistry right now?
No, yeah, everything we do is together. Everything.
And how does that? I mean, because that doesn't always happen, man. Like you spend so much time with guys, and sometimes they just rub you the wrong way, right? So like, how have you guys always been such a tight group?
I don't know. It's a lot of us went to the same or played in the same programs, like elementary, middle school. So we all knew each other, so we all known each other, and it's just it's like brotherly love. It's not just like, oh, he's on my team. It's like, we're going to go hang out after practice. We're going to go eat. And it's us as a group. It's not just two of us, three of us.
I want to dive into, we're going to take our commercial break here, our first one. But I am super intrigued about team dynamics and culture. So I want to dive into that some more. And the culture that you guys have built, that Coach Ortega has built, that you guys have continued. I definitely want to talk about that some more. So we'll pick it up on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from. When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Very high on, and steal by Wade. Let's see if Wade will put it down, and he does with authority with a one-hand hammer.
It's adjustment by LaCueva.
Oh, nice pass to Wade, puts it up and scores. Nice pass from Chris Pata. There's Wade, nice. He'll fade away from 5 and score. Also puts it on the floor, back outside to Wade. Fires another 3 and gets it. Wade from the right wing. Off the pick by Wade, puts it up. Backhand layup, no good. Wade follows with a 2-hand jam.
Well, you mentioned LaCueva earlier. You're putting in some work against the Bears there, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And chances are we'll see that matchup again, right? Whether it be later in the season, whatever. I mean, so that's always. I mean, is that a pretty big game that you guys are always up for?
Yeah, definitely. Especially since we lost the first time.
And it sounds like there's the crosstown rivalry thing is real, right? The guys on that side of town. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool to see. All right, let's pick up what we were talking about. I am so intrigued by team dynamics and culture. And the word culture, right? Like what it means. Like, the news obviously this previous week was Coach Ridenauer taking the job at UNM, right? And a culture that he built there, it's similar. The basketball culture at Atrisco is similar, right? Like it has always been so good. So talk about your first impressions of that culture when you first arrived. Do you see it right away? How does it kind of take shape in you guys?
He definitely right away makes sure that you're ready. It doesn't matter how good you are if you don't have heart for it. He's not gonna take you in, Ortega or Heredia.
And ready in what way?
Just like you being able to be corrected. Like he doesn't want someone that's not going to be able to be corrected, talk back, and he wants someone that's going to be able to learn, over the years that they're there, and it's definitely a commitment. It's not easy at all.
But what I've always appreciated about Atrisco guys is they always have some swagger to them too. Like they kind of know that they're good too. Like, but that comes with time, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys are all bought in. And so now, what is your role now as you've been in this program so long? Like, what do you guys have some studs on your team, some young guys that are very good.
Yeah.
Love Marquise Renfro. I think Latavius Morris could be very good for the next 4 years. So now, how is your role taking shape in kind of making sure those guys get the culture? You know, because freshmen like that are high profile, they come in and I'm sure they think they're hot. You know what, right?
Yeah.
So how is your role in kind of grounding them and getting that culture installed?
So we'll start off with Latavius.
You don't have to mention names.
No,
but
we'll start off. So
right.
Latavius, he's definitely the popular kid, and it's different than how I was as a freshman because when I was a freshman, I had D-Mark there.
Right.
He kind of took me under his wing, so I appreciate him for that. But Tay definitely already he's humble, but he knows he's good.
Right.
So I kind of try to help out Marquise more, Renfro. He thinks a lot during practice, when we're running plays. He thinks a lot, and that's how I was. So, and I remember how frustrating it used to be to get yelled at and stuff. So I'll be like, "You're good, like, I'll help you."
Who's the guy that if someone were to stray the path, who's the guy that would be like, "No, we don't do that around here, bro"? Well, let me rephrase. Who was that guy for you, and who is that guy now?
That guy for me was definitely Josiah.
Okay.
Josiah would keep you in check. Now it's either Tony or me. Tony's definitely that leader. He's there.
And so that's important in a successful program, right? For you guys to be able to integrate young guys, right? Because it's one thing. It's one thing the speed of the game and all that, but when you have a winning culture like that, I would think that's important, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about you a little bit. Tell us about your background. Were you just always this athletically gifted? What other sports?
No.
Let's start there. What other sports did you play?
I played soccer in kindergarten. That's about it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Retired real early, huh?
Basketball started first grade and then took off from there.
Okay. I always love asking big guys, like, when did they stop being a clumsy big guy? And I'm sure some of your friends might say they haven't, so you haven't stopped, right? But when did you kind of come into your own and grow into that frame?
I would say freshman year.
Okay.
It was because 8th grade.
Was it a mess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Ever since.
I want to hear about the mess when you were still clumsy.
8th grade, I didn't even start. I was like, I would catch the ball, freak out, air ball layup.
Right.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, those days are kind of over, right? So, first dunk, when did that happen? Because you got like a couple, 20 of them this year already. It seems like. So, when was the first dunk, and then when was the first in-game dunk?
First dunk was at Rio Rancho, going into my freshman year.
Right.
Yeah, and then my first in-game dunk was sophomore year against Hope.
And now, best poster dunk.
My Valley dunk.
Okay.
They didn't count it. They called it a charge, but.
Well, what else is new, right?
Yeah, it was definitely.
But let's not go there. Who did you put on that poster?
Ale Tafoya.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to him.
So that's a good one. I think we have some more dunks coming up. We'll look at those. Now you've moved around a lot, right? So how was that? Basketball-wise, that's got to be difficult, moving around a lot?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I played first grade, and then I didn't play for any team. I played first grade for a club team with Caden Valdez. 3rd grade, I played with Caden Valdez and Jaden Malone. Jaden's dad was the coach. Then I stopped playing 4th. 5th, I played for my school. 6th, I played for another school.
Right.
I moved around a lot, but it definitely helped me because I was a really shy kid.
Right.
So, I constantly had to make new friends.
Right.
Constantly.
But that can be hard as well. You talk about totally non-basketball related. Like moving around from school to school, that can be tough on a kid, man. Were there ever moments where you were like, man, this kind of sucks?
No.
No? So you took that in stride?
I always had my older brother.
Okay.
So, me and him kind of like stuck together through all that.
Well, where else did this athleticism come from now? Your parents athletic at all?
Yes, my dad. My mom did cheer. My dad did football.
Okay.
My dad's definitely, he thinks he got it
Yeah.
I think I got it from him, but I got a little from my mom.
Okay, all right. What about? I want to talk about like you talked about maybe the clumsier days, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the work you must be putting in the weight room because it's obvious in your bounce, right?
Yeah.
So like if there's a young big guy out there, right, little 7th grader that's clumsy right now, is how do they get your bounce? Talk about the leg work you put in because it is noticeable, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that. Like you're not skipping leg days, I'm assuming.
Definitely jump rope a lot. We do that at practice too.
Right.
Jump rope, squats, box jumps, lunges. Honestly, it's just like you got to work every part of your leg.
Now, what about going back to Coach Ortega a little bit? Like, did he have his shirts like especially made with tighter sleeves? You think? Did he ever show off? Like,
no.
Was he like? Did he tell you guys like, hey, like look what I'm putting up on the weight room? Like,
no. He's always been humble about that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard
I
him
would
say
think
that.
he would kind of, throw that in your guys' face because Coach got some guns.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's talk about the coaching change a little bit. I mean, we've talked about all this culture, right? And Coach Ortega's synonymous with Atrisco. It's got to be a big change, right? Or not a big change, but a big shock.
Yeah, it definitely was. When he told us, we all got teary-eyed.
Right.
We're going to miss him, but it had to go on.
And what was that like? I mean, when did that happen? When was that team meeting?
I don't remember the exact day, but
did you guys sense it coming, or did it catch everyone by surprise?
Yeah, no, we did not know it was coming. He brought us all into the locker room, started telling us, and then we all just looked around and we were like,
all right.
We're like.
So who broke the awkward silence? Because there had to be some awkward silence, right? You guys were kind of looking at each other like, is this happening? Right?
I think it just stayed silent. It stayed quiet till he left the room.
Yeah.
We were just kind of like.
Like when you spend as much time with a coach in high school, like, does it become a family? Like, is it almost like what's
he was
going
definitely another father figure to me, and the other players. It sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I got to think it's incredibly difficult. All right, we'll take another time out here. We want to get some more into this season, and we'll talk with Colby some more after this timeout.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
attacks the basket, fadeaway, no good. Rebound, Colby Wade. He gets it up to Renfro in transition, guarded by Heckroth. Wade in the corner for three. It's good. Pata gets it over to Wade. Deep three is good. Colby Wade with his second three-pointer of the game.
Showing some range there against El Dorado. The highlights that were not in there is you guys kind of put an ass whooping on my Knights last night. So, but I didn't include that. So, usually I don't have guests on the night after they beat my Knights. Yeah. So, special occasion to still have you here. But you're looking good, man. You guys are looking good. We kind of talked about the coaching change, right? Coach Heredia's been there with you guys for a couple of years, so that made it easier, I'm assuming?
Yeah, definitely. He was already he was the coach.
Right.
That's it.
And so at that point, I mean, you guys go through that meeting and then it's back to business, right? Because the ceiling is high for you guys. So talk about where you guys are at now. I mean, we're right around the Metro tournament. Well, first of all, you watched the Caden Valdez episode, right? And this is slowly becoming the favorite part of my show, is when you guys have reactions to each other. So you had a little bit of a problem with something Caden said. Yeah. The floor is yours.
He said that he was excited to play La Cueva, the Metro Championship.
So he penciled those Bears right in, huh? Yeah. So you guys probably want something to say about that, right?
Oh yeah. We all know about it.
Right.
We're all working for it.
Okay. All right. So just a little inside information. We are shooting this right before the Final Four of the Metro tournament. So, but let's fast forward past that a little bit, right? District play starts in the toughest district in the state. So you guys always have to be ready for that. Just talk about the grind of that district.
Oh, it's every team is good. Every team has that players. I feel like, our practices definitely get harder. Right. It's a lot of running, a lot of longer practices. We'll be ready.
Have you guys kind of? Who's the rival? Because that district is so loaded.
I was talking to Javi about this today. I don't know. It's Cleveland. It is Cleveland, just because we've went back and forth.
Right.
But I feel like Volcano's definitely there, and I also feel like La Cueva, since they beat us.
Right.
It's all over the place. Right. It's supposed to be Rio Grande.
Right, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right, and they're not in your district, so.
Yeah.
Right, obviously that's not a thing, but and talk about how that district just keeps you guys ready, right? Because you guys always meet up in some Metro tournament, then district, and then 4, sometimes 5 teams in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that. How hard is it let me ask it this way: how hard is it as a player to face the same team 4 or 5 times a season?
It's tough. It's tough, but it helps a lot because we learn a lot,
right?
Especially the younger players.
Does it get chippy though? Is it
Oh yeah.
After who are you? And please drop a name. I know you seem like the guy that would drop a name too. Who's the guy by the 3rd or 4th time you're playing him? You're like, man, I don't like this dude anymore. I just want to dunk in his face.
Honestly, I feel like these past years was definitely Sean Johnson.
Okay.
Because Sean, me and him would go back and forth.
Right.
We would just. I hit a 3, he hit a 3.
Right.
I get a dunk, he gets a dunk.
But that's not a district guy.
No, yeah.
Right. So who is in your district that's just you get by the 3rd or 4th game you're legitimately heated against that guy? Or is it just a team? You can go. I'm gonna let you off the hook easy if you want to just say a team.
I don't feel like it's. I feel like Volcano.
Okay.
Volcano. It was definitely Trey too.
Right.
Trey Watson from Cleveland, just because he was so big.
Right. And so how is this? So you're a big guy. So how is this fraternity of big guys in the state? You get up for those games when the other team has a big? Is that extra special for you?
Yeah, definitely. I get excited.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better than playing a team with no big, I think.
Right. So when you get a team like my Knights last night, right, where the tallest guy's 5'11" or whatever, what goes in your mind there? Are you thinking all right, I'm gonna feast today, or?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the ball, pound it inside, wait for them to start crashing on me,
right.
Kick it out.
Who's the toughest big guy you've had to face?
Trey Watson.
Trey Watson.
Yeah.
And what made him so just the size and skill?
Big, speed, everything, finishes.
Right. Now, I mean, who's the big guy that kind of gives you the most trouble when they? Who doesn't come out and guard you, right? Because you can stretch it, so you can shoot the three. Who doesn't come out and guard?
Brady.
Okay.
Brady Arrhenius.
Yeah. No, he's like, no, I'm good. I'll stay in the paint.
He sits there like that.
All right. Okay. All right. So obviously the team that everyone's talking about right now is Las Cruces, right? Very skilled big guy on that team. Would you like a crack at him? Like talk about. I mean, you think about that? Like, man, I hope I get a crack at Isaiah.
I definitely want to play him. Yeah, I've played him once before, and it was in a little tournament. But yeah, I definitely want to play him.
Right. What's next for you? I mean, because you're a very skilled player, I'd imagine that you want to play at the next level. So let's talk about that.
Definitely, college. I am looking more towards post grad, just to do another year.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
And then you know what do you? I mean, are you just looking to move out of state? I mean, okay.
Yeah.
And so how's all that? That's gotta be, you know, you got basketball season, you got all your academics, and now you got that on your plate as well. Like, hey, I want to play somewhere, right? I mean, that's got to be taxing, right?
Yeah. You just gotta stay focused.
Right. Let's talk about that eye a little bit. All right. So I don't know if our camera could pick that up, but you got a nice little. Yeah. Okay. We see it a little bit.
Yeah.
So and the worst part is you got called for a technical on
know.
that. So let's talk about that a little bit. How did that happen? Battle scars.
You know, I was getting fouled the whole game.
Right.
They weren't calling it. Typical big man.
It is tough to be a big guy in New Mexico,
Definitely.
isn't it? Like, how do you? I've had conversations with this with Marlon, my friend Marlon Cunningham, about this. Like, how do you guys keep your cool?
It's frustrating.
The big guys in New Mexico. I mean, you get absolutely mugged. And the whistle doesn't blow a lot, right?
Yeah.
But you touch a guard, it's a foul.
It's a foul.
Like, I can't even get this close to Deuce Benjamin. That's a foul.
Yeah.
If I were to do this to Deuce, that's a foul.
Yeah.
Right? But big guys are just getting murdered. I mean, how hard is it to keep your head? And is that
It's
something
tough.
that you had to develop? Like, as a freshman, was it frustrating riding the bench with foul trouble? Like, what have you done about that? Like, coaches, what have they done?
They're
very high
tough
on.
Playing through the fouls, not getting calls. But I do feel like I've gotten way better at, finishing with the fouls, even if they don't call it.
Right.
I definitely worked for it, though, because I remember freshman year, I would just fade because I didn't want to get fouled every time.
Right.
And people started telling me, don't fade, just go straight up. And I'm like, I'm going to get fouled, I'm going to miss, and then it's going to be my fault because they don't call a foul.
Right.
So I worked on my fadeaway a lot, and I was like, if I need to fade, I'm going to fade.
Right.
And you can't tell me I can't.
Right.
I definitely got stronger and, put in that work to be able to finish.
Right. Well, I admire all the work you've put in, man. Watching your game since your early days to now, it is really a pleasure to watch you and your team on the basketball court. Best of luck the rest of the way, the rest of the season, and everything in the future. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.